What's up, everybody? This is Josh from Free Indeed, and this is the channel where we talk about what a Christ-centered biblical recovery process looks like. And in this video, we are going to talk about the concept of intentions not always matching behavior. And we're going to look at some ways to evaluate that and some questions to ask ourselves before we make decisions and do things so we can make sure that our intentions are being communicated accurately and that people are understanding where we're coming from so that we don't have all this conflict and chaos and stress and drama and all things that come from frustrations when we haven't done the work to work on these things. So Jesus says this in Matthew 7:13-14 on page 1206 of our recovery Bibles. You can enter God's kingdom only through the narrow gate. The highway to hell is broad and its gate is wide for many who choose that way. But the gateway to life is very narrow and the road is difficult and only a few ever find it. My dad says it this way: the road to hell is easy. It doesn't have any boundaries. So we're talking about boundaries. We're talking about how do we put boundaries on the way we think and the way that we act so that our intentions can be communicated accurately to others. Dr. Henry Cloud says this: we judge ourselves by our intentions, but reality judges us by our behavior. So that means that no matter how good of intentions or motives I have, it's what I really do that matters. So people don't experience my intentions, people experience my behavior. I can have the best of intentions, but if my behavior doesn't reflect my intentions, I have a boundary problem. Healthy boundaries provide safe structure. They're the things that lead to freedom. They're the things that lead to control over the things that we can control. Yes, we don't want to have control over things that we can't control or get frustrated about that, but we do need to take accountability and responsibility for the things that we can control. And having good boundaries, especially around our behavior, when we look at what reflects our intentions, is a great way to do that. So this is something that addicts, unfortunately, know all too well. I know for me, I never intended to hurt myself or others, but my behavior did not ever reflect those intentions until the last few years. So here's some examples. I'm going to give you quite a few examples here of what this looks like. Have you ever told this to someone or heard someone say or experienced this with somebody else? I'll pay you back next week. But yeah, and you have every intention of doing that, but it never really happens because things come up, something happens, you forget. You never really meant to pay them back, even though you feel bad so your intention is still good, even though you know you weren't going to, you really want to, right? Or the other side of the same coin is, I'll help you out one more time and I'll loan you some money. Well, my intention is to help that person, but the last 47 times that I've loaned them money, they haven't paid me back. I have a boundary problem there, right? How about this example? This one's kind of funny, but it's an example. How about a husband who gets his wife a gym membership for her birthday because she's been expressing over the past few months a desire to get back in shape or lose some weight? Well, his heart is his intention is he's been listening and he's been his intention is to help his wife, but that does not come across well when he gets his wife a gym membership, does it? How about this one? Throwing a graduation party for your sister. I don't have a sister. I just thought about that one. People can get all wrapped up in throwing parties for other people and doing things for other people because their heart's in the right place. They want to do something for them, but all of a sudden it turns into this big ordeal where they're the ones throwing the party and they're the ones that are important and they're the ones that blah, 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 blah. And then all this conflict starts and then all this blah, blah, blah. And then the whole thing spirals out of control. And now nobody wants to go to the party and the sister ends up having a problem with the person throwing the party. Okay, that's just something I just thought of. How about this one? Investing in your friend's business when you really don't have the funds to do it and you really don't think that your friend's business is all going to be all that successful. There's a good one. How about a parent who says yes to everything a kid asks for, or on the other side of that coin, an overprotective parent that says no to everything? That's not helpful at all. You have good intentions to protect your kid or to praise your kid and to raise a good kid, but your behavior doesn't reflect that. How about sending a text message at the wrong time? The other day, I sent my daughter a Bible verse. Just was sitting on the couch, and I thought, I'm just going to send my kiddo has her own phone, and I text her a Bible verse. Well, it turns out that I texted her in the middle of one of her classes, and she didn't have her phone off, and it dinged, and it got taken away. Well, my intention was to send her a Bible verse for encouragement, but the result that she experienced was my dad got my phone taken away. Now, granted, there's some work to be done on her side with boundaries, but the example still applies. How about this one? This is the last one. I love this one. Bless their heart. We all know that, right? Bless their heart means The behavior maybe isn't the greatest thing, but we know they're coming from a good place, right? Okay, so those are some examples, and we all know that. So I'm going to give you 5 questions to ask yourself before you act. Okay, these are 5 questions to ask yourself before you act. Do I have any dashboard lights on? We have another video on HALT, Hunger, Anger, Lonely, or Tired, about dashboard. Dashboard lights are those things that start flashing that signal something is wrong, and usually it's in the form of an emotion or feeling. So before I act, do I feel shame, fear, guilt, anger, bitterness, frustration, hunger, loneliness, any of these things? If so, I may want to evaluate my decisions moving forward. Second question, is my desired outcome selfish or to put others down? Sometimes we may have good intentions and deep down inside, but the behavior may come out as demonstrative or controlling, over controlling, or trying to take control of the situation and micromanage every little detail. The third question is, do I already have what's in the bank to clear the check? All right. Do you have the time, the resources, the money, right? The Good Samaritan is a great example of that. Nobody would remember the Good Samaritan just by his intentions. He also had the money, right? The fourth question is, do you know where you're going, and is anyone following you there? What's the desired outcome, and who are you following? Are you following Jesus? Are you following yourself? Are you following someone else? Are you following a bad emotion? Are you following something that's impure? Right? You really want to ask yourself before you act. And the last one is now, later, or ever a good time to act. Right? I could ask myself about the text message. Should I be texting my daughter when I know she's in class? I probably could have waited to do that, right? Or done it earlier in the morning before she went to school. So those are the 5 questions. First one, I'm going to go over them one more time because they're really good. The first one is, do I have any dashboard lights on? Second question is my desired outcome selfish or to put others down? The third question is, do I already have what's in the bank to clear the check? The fourth question is, do I know where I'm going, and is anyone following me there? The fifth question is now, later, or ever a good time to act? So I hope this has been helpful to you, and you can take some of these things to apply to your own recovery and your life. Feel free to subscribe, like, and share this video with all your friends. I will have meeting times and locations listed in the description below, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and I hope to see you at a meeting. See you later.